Hello friends, welcome to the ISO series carried out by the I4 consultancy. Now, as we say, privacy is the most important thing for an organization. So, today we'll be talking about the Privacy Act. Privacy Act. The Privacy Act prohibits the disclosure of information from a system of records absent the written consent of the subject individual unless the disclosure is pursuant to one of the 12 statutory exceptions. The Act also provides individuals with a means by which to seek access to an amendment of their records and sets forth various agency record keeping requirements. The Privacy Act identifies 12 principles in relation to personally identifiable information, that is PII, and protected health information, that is PHI. Privacy Act principles. Now, as we discussed, there are 12 principles. Starting with the first, the purpose of collection of information. Information must be collected for a lawful purpose and must be necessary for that purpose. The source of the personal information. Information about an individual is required to be obtained from that individual with a limited number of exceptions where information is publicly available and where an individual have its collection. The next principle talks about collecting information from an individual. Information is collected from an individual. The individual must be aware of the several specific matters, including that the information is being collected for a specific purpose and not for other use. The next principle talks about manner of collection of personal information, that how the information is collected from an individual. Information may not be collected unlawfully or in any circumstances that are unfair or that include to an unreasonable extent upon the personal affairs of the individual. The next principle talks about the storage and security of the personal information. Information is stored with sufficient safeguard to protect against loss or unauthorized access. Correction of the personal information. When information is held about an individual, the individual is entitled to request for the correction of that information. There is obligation to ensure that the information retained is accurate, up-to-date, complete, and not misleading. Talking about the next Privacy Act principle, that is access to information. When information is held about an individual in a form that can be readily retrieved, the individual concerned is entitled to obtain the confirmation that the information is held and she or he has access to that information. Accuracy of the information. Information must be checked before it is used. The organization holding the information is not entitled to use information until it has been checked and accurate, up to date, complete, relevant, and not misleading. Personal information not be retained longer than it is necessary for the purpose for which the information is lawfully able to use. This comes under information not to be kept longer than necessary. Now, limit to the use of personal information is given as an organization holding the information which is obtained for one purpose shall not be used it for other purposes except in certain limited exceptions. Unique identifier. Organizations holding the information are able to assign unique identifier to individuals if it's necessary to carry out their functionalities efficiently. Next, limit to the disclosure of personal information. It is given as an organization holding the information is not entitled to disclose that information to anyone except in a certain restricted circumstances. For more details, you can visit our website, that is www.i4consultancy.com and www.i4technolab.com. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed and gained the most knowledge you can from the series. Thank you.